Hello friends, warm welcome to you all to the channel World of Zoology, and we'll consider the next point of the paper first, population and unit first, that is population ecology, and from that last point of the subunit population dynamics, which is nothing but population dispersal, distribution patterns and ecological niche. We'll consider one by one in our today's lecture. First of all, population dispersal is spread of individuals from the home site in uniform environmental dispersal movements that radiates in all directions from the home area. Greater the density of individuals in the home area, more rapid is the outward movement in the adjacent area. If the dispersal occurs in bulk, it affects the population size as the large number of individuals are involved in it. There are various reasons for population dispersal, such as availability of the food sources, then predators, overcrowding in that particular area or the ecosystem, breeding behavior and physiological changes that occurs. Further, the adverse environmental conditions such as action of wind, water, light and temperature are also responsible for population dispersal. It is commonly influenced by migration, which may be either temporary or permanent movement from one place to another. Such movements occur usually periodically or seasonally. Among insect migration, the commonly which is observed in case of the locusts, butterflies, aphids, and mites. Migration is also observed in case of some fishes, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Arctic terns migrate from north to extreme south in winter and return to their breeding grounds on the arrival of the spring. Tiger prawns migrate from ocean to estuaries, that is, from ocean to estuaries, which is known as anadromous migration, where they were born. This migration is specifically for breeding purpose. In contrast, eel travel several thousand miles from river to sea. From river to sea, catadromous migration for breeding purpose. After 3 years, the young ones of the eel return back to the same water body, that is to the river, for breeding purpose. Trout migrate upstreams in the river for breeding. Dispersion or distribution patterns show the special relationship between the members of the population within a habit in the space. Patterns are often characteristic of the particular species. They depend on the local environmental conditions and the species growth characteristics, such as in case of the plants, or behavior as for the animals. Individuals of population can be distributed in one of the three basic patterns. They can be more or less equally spaced apart from each other, what we term it as the uniform dispersion. Disperse when they disperse randomly with no predictable pattern, then random dispersion, or clustered in groups that forms a clump and therefore clump dispersion. Population may show three basic patterns of distribution. One, that is random distribution, second one uniform distribution, and third one is the clump distribution. Three patterns of the distribution in populations of organisms. The population may have uniform, random, or clump type of distribution. Territorial birds such as penguins tends to have uniform distribution. They are equally spaced. Plants with wind dispersal seeds such as dandelions, where usually distributed randomly. Animals such as elephants that travel in group exhibit clump distribution. Uniform dispersion is observed in plant species that inhibits the growth of nearby individual. For example, the sage plant Salvia leucophylla secretes toxins, a phenomena called negative allelopathy. The chemicals which are produced by the plant kills off surrounding plants in a circle around the individual sage plant, leading to uniform distance between each plant. Animals that maintain defined territories, such as nesting in case of the penguins, also exhibit uniform distribution or the dispersion. Here in this diagram, the uniform distribution for the nesting purpose in case of the penguin is shown. The second one, sagoplant, that shows equal random distribution as the wind dispersal is observed. Then the clump of the elephant is shown in the third diagram. Uniform distribution within the individuals of the same species on reaching the carrying capacity of the habitat that results in the competition between the individuals. When the crowding occurs, the competition increases as they use resources from the same habitat. Their requirements are more or less similar as these animals belongs to the same species. This results in equal spacing and uniform spreading of the individual within their habitat. For example, termite larvae found in the wooden logs show uniform distribution. Even the distribution of the floor beetle is uniform when they are optimum in their number. Random distribution, that is second type of dispersal or distribution, which occurs with dandelions and other plants that have wind dispersed seeds that germinate wherever they happen to fall in a favorable environmental conditions. It is observed in habitats in which resources are plenty, and when resources are plenty, that population is always below carrying capacity. In this distribution, spacing pattern individuals are not concentrated in one particular area, but they are scattered. For example, in case of the animals like Mytilus, which is one of the bivalve, or the animal belonging to class Bivalvia or the Pelcipodia. They are found to be distributed randomly on the rocks. Here, Mytilus means in what we term it in Marathi, Shinani. Now we'll move towards the next type of the distribution, that is nothing but clump distribution or dispersion, which is seen in the plants that drop their seeds straight to the ground, such as oak trees, or the animals that live in groups, such as schooling habit of the fish, herds of the elephants. Then clump dispersion may also result from the habitat heterogeneity. If favorable conditions are localized, organisms will tend to clump around those, such as lions around watering hole. Social insect after aggregate, they often aggregate, or the social animals, they often aggregate in clumps. For example, schools of fish, herds of mammals, flock of birds, When the resources are abundant, the clumps remain randomly dispersed. But if the resources are limited in nature, uniformity in dispersal is seen. Some animals aggregate temporarily or over extended period of time. Clumping is for various purposes, like for defense, for breeding purpose, also for temperature regulation, then for nesting purpose. Clumping is observed. Here one example of the clumping animal, that is nothing but that belongs to the arthropoda, and what we term it as a millipede, and in Marathi paisa, that forms a coin like structure, and therefore we term it as the paisa in Marathi. In this way, the dispersion patterns of the individuals within population provides more information about how they interact with each other, and not only that, but their interaction with the environment, that does a simple density measurement. Just a lower density species might have more difficulty in finding mate. Solitary species with random distribution might have a similar difficulty when compared to the social species that clump together into groups. Now we'll move towards the next point of our lecture, that is nothing but niche concept. An ecosystem maintains more than one population. All those population within the ecosystem that forms a community. Each species has a specific position within the community denoted by the niche. Therefore, niche is environmental space within which a population is maintained and increase in its size. Niche refers to habitat as well as functional role of species within the community. Niche refers to habitat as well as functional role of the species within that particular community, and therefore in short, habitat is address of that species, and niche is profession of an organism, that is functional role of the species within the community. For example, many dragonfly nymphs living in the same pond have been found to occupy different niches. Here, dragonfly nymphs means the animal in the developmental stage without wing. That is, formation of wing birds are there, but the wings are not developed. Within intertidal zone of the rocky shore, area occupied by sea anemone is different, that is in the crevices of the rock, whereas crabs that inhabit in the beneath, mostly beneath the rock, barnacles on the surface of the rock, and oysters and barnacles remain attached to the particular rocks, as like that of the balanus that dwells in its own position within the marine ecosystem. That means all these animals, even though they occupy intertidal zone of a rocky shore, the position of each and every organism within that marine ecosystem in the intertidal zone is different. In 1927, Charles Ilton, in his book Animal Ecology, considered niche as the fundamental role of organism in the community, that is space occupied by that particular species in the community. Thus he popularized the trophic niche. Furthermore, in 1957, G. A. Hutchinson developed the concept of the multidimensional niche space or hypervolume niche. He also made a distinction between fundamental niche and realized niche. Here, fundamental niche is a potential or idealized ecological niche of an organism. Fundamental niche is the hypervolume in which species can potentially perpetuate, while the realized niche or ecological niche is actual area or part of the hypervolume of the fundamental niche which an organism actually occupies. Means the fundamental niche is the ideal part, whereas the second one, that is realized niche, is actually the particular part or the niche which is a particular part of the community or the area which is occupied by the organism. Finally, Odom in 1971 suggested that ecological niche include three important aspects, and these aspects are spatial or habitat niche, trophic niche, and hypervolume niche, according to Odom in 1971. Therefore, concept of niche was developed over a period of time from 1917 to 1971 due to significant contributions from ecologists such as Grenell, Price, and Odom. Joseph Grenell considered niche as the part of the habitat. In his studies on California thrashers and other birds, he explained niche as the ultimate distributional or spatial unit occupied by just one species or subspecies, leading to the concept of the specialness that is within the particular space. For example, polyculture of the freshwater fish species such as Katla, Rohu, and Mrugal. All these three are freshwater fishes, Katla, Rohu, and Mrugal. But their area or the particular zone which is occupied is different. Say, for example, here Katla fish is surface and midwater feeder, Rohu is column feeder, occurs in the column of the water, whereas Mrugal is benthopelagic. Benthic means bottom and feeding mainly on the debris found in the bottom layers of the water. Ecological niche is therefore defined as the term for the position of the species within an ecosystem, describing both the range of conditions necessary for persistence of the species and ecological role in the ecosystem. An ecological niche is a term used by the ecologist to describe the role a species play in the particular ecosystem. The niche is affected by both factors, biotic as well as abiotic. The another definition of the ecological niche is the totality of the organism's adaptations, its use of resources, and lifestyle to which it is fitted. That means a particular organism is fitted to a particular part of the niche also. Example, that is coexisting species niche differ from each other in one or more ways, and the example is of the warbler, that is the bird warbler, which shows resource partitioning by occupying different part of the tree. Here, the crisp part or the topmost part of the tree, which is occupied for the feeding purpose of the by the capmay warbler, that feeds at the tips of the branches near the top of the tree. The second one, that is bay-breasted warbler, that feeds in the middle part of the tree. And the third species that shows in the bottom part, that is yellow ramp warbler, feeds in the lower part of the tree and at the base of the middle branches, which is shown here in the diagram. Thus, the warbler niche which shows each of these species has different niche as far as their habitat, feeding habitat is considered. By feeding in the different areas of the same tree, these birds they avoid competition with one another for the food. Thank you for watching my video. Share this video for the benefit of the maximum students and subscribe the channel World of Zoology for the notification of my next lecture on the subpoint population growth regulation within the same unit population ecology. Thank you once again.